What's up, West Virginia? You are listening to the premier podcast to get your tips, tricks, and flips. Here you can get the inside scoop on all your real estate and business needs. Now here's your host, Steve Coyne, Andrew McDavid, and the always cheeky Shayne Norris. Now sit down and grab a pencil because school's in session. So let's get flipping.
What's up, guys? I am super stoked right now. Are you? I know you are. I can see it in the face. Oh, Shayne, calm down.
Ready to get after it here.
Shayne, calm down now.
I can't help it.
I mean, you're just too loud.
Glad I have
Shut
these
up
clothes
for a
on.
second. Guys, listen, we are super excited. This is the first episode of Flippin West Virginia, and we just want to get into today about what we've got going on, introduce ourselves so you guys can understand what we're about. We're going to try to keep Shayne on a leash, a long leash. Well, no, I'm sorry, a short leash.
Real short.
Yeah, real short. Real short.
Not cool.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Just calm down.
That's not cool.
Well, whatever. We love you anyway.
That's why I got divorced, because there was a leash.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Because I'll make sure it's one of those ones that has a really good button so it doesn't break, and then you, like when you're running, your neck gets caught.
Give me some lead. Give me some lead.
Okay, I'll get it.
What are we talking about today?
Well, what we're getting after is we're going to start out just by introducing ourselves. We want to let everybody know what we're about. We'll start out today. Andrew, you want to start out and let everybody know how you got started in real estate?
Tell us who you are.
Yeah, man. Let's get started. We're going to talk about our company, our individual backgrounds. Let's talk about, we'll have a real estate related tip of the week. We have a business of the week we want to highlight this week.
Sounds good.
And then let's get after it.
Let's go.
So, I'm Andrew McDavid. Our company is A&M Properties and Investments. And,
listen to him. Hold on for a second. That's R&B right there. That's straight up R&B. That's old school. It's like 1990 anyway. I'm gonna let you go. Get after it.
I was born and raised here in South Charleston, and I graduated from South Charleston in '98. Graduated from Marshall in '03 with an accounting degree that I never really used. Flipped my first house in 2004, and took the money and ran. Moved to Atlanta for a while. Came back, got a job, and started working. And eventually got married in 2011. When I met my wife, Marie, we decided we was going to get back into real estate. So we started the company, and we worked it hard for, 2.5 years or so before I was able to resign full time.
So, as far as you resigning, I know that you and I had always talked on the phone, and you were struggling for a little bit about that, about resigning.
Yeah.
And, I can hear it in your voice. I know you wanted to resign. And I know we talked, probably for what, a good month before you decided you wanted to do that. And you just automatically just took that jump. Because, at the end of the day, when you take on a situation that we're in, if you just get after it, man, there's no issues of being able to make things happen.
Yeah, man. I talked over with my wife, and we had been planning this stuff for a while. So we finally decided to go ahead and take the leap. And then this was a year after I met you. Just a quick story how I met Steve. I was wholesaling the house to Steve, and he called my wife and said, "Hey, I want to buy that townhouse that you guys are selling." So she was like, "Okay, meet him at the Wendy's or whatever, and we'll sign a contract."
Well, I don't think I don't think it was that easy.
It was the
because
Wendy's this time.
instead of me just coming in, real easy about it, I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go low, and of course, the first thing Marie said was, I don't think Andrew's gonna take that. Of course, I don't want to exaggerate her voice, but it'd be a lot cooler if I did. No, Andrew's not gonna take that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But no, so finally I get a call back from Andrew, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna take this guy down.
Oh yeah.
I just learned all these tips from Shayne Norris because he's nasty.
I didn't know you yet.
Whatever. it was all in secret anyway.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, Steve and I never met. We sat down and we were just going to sign a contract. We ended up sitting there talking for about 3 hours about our goals and what we wanted to do in life, and we just aligned. I think our vision
instant
aligned.
connection.
Yeah, we just decided we was going to get after it, and we did a house, and it went terribly.
Is that not the truth?
It went terrible.
Is that not the truth?
We did one house,
right,
and it took us a year to sell it.
It did. It was the worst deal ever.
It was really bad. It was here in South Charleston, and I found a house, and we owner financed it from the lady, and we fixed it up. And Steve did most of the work and subbed everything out, and it was fantastic, but just there was a couple things about the house that we couldn't fix or change. And it really just killed it.
It's the way the house set. You know, the time frame, we got it done in a decent amount of time. But, you know, really, at the end of the day, it ended up being a VA loan that we got involved with, which you know how a VA loan goes. They want handrails on everything. It doesn't matter if it's in the kitchen or outside. They want handrails.
Steve and I had to go in and put handrails all around the yard ourselves in the dead of summer.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I mean, we're putting handrails on walls that nobody's even going to walk near.
It was brutal.
It was crazy. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, we were somebody's. Man, what am I hearing? Somebody's got their phone. Somebody's got their phone on.
Don't stare at me.
Loud. Is it you?
No. I'm glad they got my phone on mute.
Well, you know, back to this lovely situation we ran into. You know that finally we ended up selling the house. Andrew and I did some really drastic things to get this thing sold.
I think we made what did we make on that thing? Like 3,000 a piece.
Well, literally, you want to know the truth? Andrew ended up giving me money.
Yeah, that's what
you didn't. I remember. You didn't make anything.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, that's how bad it was. Andrew gave me money. He said, "Man, look, you put all your time and effort in it.
I remember
here. I'm going to take the hit."
It was brutal.
Which was, you know, I appreciate.
It was brutal.
You know, tremendously. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you know, the house turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, but.
So yeah, I mean, from there we just decided we was going to just get after it, and we raised some money, raised some private money, and we was able to start buying houses. And Steve and I, the second one that we did, we just started. You know, by then I was full time, and Steve had gone full time in the business, and started doing the work ourselves, the trash out, the demo,
and that's one thing I always regretted doing.
Can I point something out here?
You sure can.
This is the most I've ever heard Andrew talk. Because he's talking about himself, I guess.
Right.
But
well,
tell us, Steve.
It's very rare to hear.
Tell us, Steve, where you come from.
Well, Andrew, I don't think are you.
I'm done. Go ahead.
He has to be done. There are time constraints on this program.
I don't know, though, man. You know, we still got tons of things to talk about, but, you know, we can talk about all this stuff in the future. It's going to get exciting.
I'm waiting to talk about me. Hurry up.
Oh, I know.
You're last, sir. You're last.
Damn, that leash, let me tell you, it's ridiculous. Here, hold on while you pull that thing. All right, guys. Well, listen, my name is Steve Coyne. You know, this let me tell you, you know, I started in what I think right when the market crashed. And I started with a buddy of mine, Chris Ojeda. You know, him and I got this bright idea. I was working at FedEx Ground at the time. And we got this bright idea, let's flip a house. And so we found the worst house that we could ever find.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. I was like, man, I've been in crack houses nicer than this. Yeah,
sounds pretty bad.
It was pretty nasty. So, you know, Chris and I, we were trying to find the funds to get it. You know, I had some funds on my house, and at the time, it was a little bit of a struggle to get those funds because I was trying to refinance my house. I had $89,000 in equity in my house. I had actually, you know, had to get some money earlier to pay my parents back because I started out in FedEx Ground. So when I was doing FedEx Ground, my parents gave me some money to start. So I had to pay them back. So at the time, it was hard for me to get the exact amount that we needed. So we talked to Chris's dad, and at the time, he was just like, well, you know, I'll give you guys the money, but he straight up looked us in the eye and said, you guys are going to lose. This is the worst time to be doing this, period. This is the worst time.
What year was this?
This was late 07.
Okay.
You know, late 07, early 08,
All right.
about when the market started to take a huge dive.
What happened?
Well, we went in there and got after it. We had it was him, it was Chris and I, my father, his father. We went in there and we just literally got after it. Even my wife was in there helping me lay tile.
Oh, wow.
At the time.
Family effort.
Oh, she was getting after it. And I was like, look, we need to put a video out of this because you're just like, you need to be the next like flip or flop.
back in 08 before Flip or Flop.
Yeah,
came
well,
out.
see, I had the idea. I had the vision.
Okay.
I had the vision.
All right.
So,
Sue them.
yes. Hey, I had a patent on that. It just hasn't gone through yet. So, you know, when you have a patent, you're okay. But, you know, at the end of the day, Chris and I, make a long story short, you know, we did pretty well in the house. We ended up making close to about $40,000. And we ended up handing his dad his money back plus $10,000, and we said, there you go. You
Show
know,
him, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you don't want anybody telling you
That you can't do
that
something.
you can't do something.
Yeah.
And that makes me super upset when somebody tells me I can't do something, because I'm just going to get after it. I'm going to make it happen regardless, no matter what it takes. But, you know, I really appreciate the fact that Chris's dad did what he did for us. You know, Chris's dad is he helped us out tremendously in that situation, and I'm greatly indebted, you know, with that guy. But, you know,
Bring us forward.
so what ended up happening is I tripped over a rock, and I landed on Andrew's lap, and he just said, look, man, I'm your man.
All right.
Isn't that special?
Yeah. So one day I'm driving down the road one day, and I see the sign. It's for a townhouse, and I drive down to the townhouse, and I drive right by the townhouse, and I see the sign, and I'm thinking, man, this townhouse is in fantastic shape. It's an end unit. The end unit looks great. Looks better than most of the townhouses, you know, in that area. And so I gave Andrew a call. Long story short, met up at Wendy's, and like Andrew was saying, we all, you know, all our goals aligned. And man, after that, from that day forward, we just moved. We just moved on it, and we didn't stop. We just took every effort that we needed to take to make this thing happen. And what ended up happening is one of the greatest things that I've dealt with in my life that you know, I couldn't be happier with, except running into Shayne Norris.
Well, nobody can see this, but they're holding hands.
Right.
Well, Shane, where you coming to this picture at?
Do you want a background? Or?
Of course we want
I mean,
the
it's a checkered
background.
past, guys.
We
We can't say anything. I can't talk about
we
my
literally
Chippendale
just- we
days
did.
or
Well,
anything like that.
Come
Listen.
on, let's go here.
All right,
It's okay.
so I'm Shayne Norris, and I'm originally
How you doing,
from,
Shayne Norris?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Originally from St. Albans.
You can put your hand down. We're not asking questions. I don't know why you're trying to talk and ask questions at the same time. Hold
Sorry.
on. Just relax a little bit.
So I started in this business a long time ago. I had absolutely nothing to do with flipping. Never even wanted to flip. Been offered a million times to be in flipping, and never had any desire. I just strictly stuck with remodeling, and I've been in this business for 23 years doing this. And where I came in was a little over a year and a half ago.
Well, hold on now.
What?
What's your background here? Because nobody knows who you are.
Yes, they do.
No.
Come on, Shayne. You gotta at
Background.
least
All right.
don't tell them about how you rob banks and you know
It's keep it clean.
you pose
Keep it
for
clean.
Playboy.
No
Keep it
prison
clean.
time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
It's
stop
Chippendale.
that.
It's
Stop
Chippendale
that.
dancer. No. So I'm a general
I'm
contractor.
sorry. That's Playgirl.
And I've been, like I said, in the business for 23 years, and I've always pretty much done remodeling. That's all I've ever stuck with. I've never got too much into new construction besides additions. I've done a few other things in the midst of it out of boredom and frustration. This state has a tendency to really shove it up your ass when you're trying to run a contracting business.
Always explicit.
What about your? Didn't you serve for our great country here in the service, sir?
Yeah.
You weren't going to tell us about that?
Come on, Shane.
Well, yeah.
That's a great thing, buddy. You need to,
Well, I was in the Marine Corps.
let everybody know.
Thanks for asking.
All right.
So that's why I have this really bad attitude towards everybody.
Well, we do appreciate your service.
Well, thank you very much.
By the way, hold on 1 second. You know what I noticed today, Andrew?
What's that?
I walked out to his truck and I saw a bunch of bags packed. I was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "Man, I'm leaving the country." I said, "Did you call Miley Cyrus on that one?"
First to flight.
Are you the one that shut down the Canadian website last night?
I was researching on
Are you sure? I thought that was you.
I was researching on
Man, MSNBC was like Shayne Norris just blew up the Canadian website.
They put my IP address in. So where were we? Oh, squirrel. Anyway. So that's where I've been for a while. I took a couple other stints with other things out of, like I said, frustration. I was with a popular but controversial flooring company for a couple years in retail management, and basically told them to shove that up. Yeah, I said that word earlier.
Yeah.
Couldn't take that. So I lived out of state for a couple years. Fabulous. Came back, and that's how I waltzed into these guys. One of Steve's really good friends.
Yeah, that's right. I got two brothers here sitting beside me. One on the left, one on the right.
One of Steve's good friends introduced me, and I started a house for him in Nitro. Remodeling the house, got another one, it just went on and on and on. So it's where we're at now, and they call me one day and say, "Hey, we'd like to come to your job. We want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh man!"
But
intervention.
Right. Well,
all I wanted was one beer.
Well,
that's
listen,
all.
Can you tell them what big spenders we are? I mean, come on now. We took you out and wined you and dined you.
Yeah.
Come on.
At a hot dog stand at the end of
come
Coal River
on.
Road.
Don't try
But it was good. It was good.
Don't try to downplay the situation.
I got extra large fries.
See, I told you.
We went over to Bambi's.
That's right.
Bambi's in St. Albans.
Yeah.
Hot dog stand.
Yeah.
Which used to be a bar.
And, I told him, I said, you can get a Coke.
I didn't get any beer. Did they even serve beer?
No, they don't.
Horrible idea, guys. I was a little disappointed.
Here's the thing.
Almost walked on that.
Well, if we let you have beer, we would have never got through this conversation.
What did we talk to you about?
Starting to manage some of your projects.
Yeah.
Some of these other houses. I guess they just couldn't find anybody else, so suckered me right into it with that extra large fry.
We didn't tell you that we talked to 5 people before you.
Well,
hey, I told you we weren't going to tell him.
Keep that to ourselves.
Would you like me to name them? Because I'm sure I know who you're talking to.
But really, we didn't talk to anybody. We decided that early on, in the process, I think when we decided we wanted to go that route, Steve, I decided that Shane was the right person that we wanted to lead in that role, and it's worked out fantastic for us.
Yeah, I mean, Shane has definitely showed that he cared. He was doing things for us that most of the time you can't find us in this business, people that actually care. Am I wrong?
No. People will show up and work.
Yeah, and actually show up and work. And Shane actually showed us that, look, at the end of the day, I put you guys first before I put myself. And we're kind of the same way. I think Andrew and I are the same way. We kind of put ourselves second before anybody else.
Well, it's about commitment.
Yeah.
I mean, we all just have a work ethic, and it's about each other, and it's just a mix of personalities that kind of comes together perfect.
Oh, I mean, this whole situation is not, couldn't be any better than it is right now. We've been through our ups and downs. I mean, I know, Shane, you struggled there for a little bit. We tried to let you be Superman for a long time.
Just a growing.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot of things came about, and it was a fast-growing process, and I don't think anybody was prepared for it. But
it grew pretty quick.
We're through it.
Yeah.
Go through it, and it's getting there, and there's frustrations every day. I mean, we all go through it.
Oh yeah, it's a definite thing. But you know, we you know, as human beings, everybody struggles with stress and things try to take you down, and people let things like this take you down. And at some point, you got to look at a situation and say, look, it's really not all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little over a year and a half, and just going from a few houses with you guys up to where we are now has been just a total change. And it's been a challenge, but it's been fun.
Well, just to give everybody,
most days are fun, all days aren't fun, but you know, there's always something to talk about. And every time somebody asks me, what do you do? Well, I'm a contractor, and I work with these guys that are house flippers, and they're like, I would love to do that. And I'm thinking, no, you don't.
Yeah, if they only knew. No, I don't want to say that too. I mean, you know, it's actually, if you can get into it and just get after it. I mean, you just have to make things happen.
It's good on the outside.
Yeah.
You know, but you got to really have that experience and a good mix of people. You can't do it yourself.
That's right.
You have to.
To give everybody an idea of where we are in our business, you know, here in 2016, so far we purchased 26 rehabs. We have a couple that are pending. In addition to that, we've purchased 18 houses via owner financing. So our goal is to try to get to 30 that we have, at least 30 rehabs that we have purchased by the end of next month. And then, you know, we'd like to get to 25 owner finance properties. We have 3 pending in that category. So this year alone, we have, you know, we're going to finish up probably around 55 properties total. And I think,
God, I'm so stoked.
I think 2 years ago, if you had come,
I'm about to run through I'm sorry, man. I'm going to run through the wall.
He's
right
ready
now.
to go, man.
Stay in your seat.
You're about to jump out the window.
Hold on. Let me come up to the chair. Oh no, sorry. I'm gonna wait on that.
I think a couple years ago, if you had come to Steve and I and said, "Hey, you know, you guys are going to purchase 55 properties in a year," we would have been dumbfounded.
Yeah, there's no way.
You know, but we look at it now and we say that's, you know, now 2 years ago it would have been crazy. Now it's like that's not enough.
Right.
You know, we're looking at this. So next year
we're looking at the big picture.
We want to double everything.
Right.
We want to double it to 70 rehabs and
70.
50
come
and 50
on
on finance.
What did Andy tell you?
Okay, 80.
No,
I know. He said
150.
He said
150.
That,
Come on.
I'm thinking 130.
No, I'm thinking 300.
Okay. I need another beer.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Hearing this.
So Shane, listen, I'm cutting the leash right now so you can get after every single one of those 300 homes.
Oh man, but we're super stoked about where we are.
Yeah.
I mean,
couldn't be happier.
I don't think we could have. Steve and I, when we started the company, we probably couldn't have got this far without Shane. We were very fortunate to be able to kind of stumble upon him and him want to do business with us, and we're very fortunate in that. So we're very glad to have him.
Thanks, guys. I'm fortunate to run into you. You're great guys.
Yeah.
You know, you're like brothers to me.
Yeah. There's no doubt.
It's been a very, very good run so far, and it's been interesting to really know who you guys are.
Right. You know, it definitely has been a fun ride, and you know, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody that's involved with us feels like family. That's period. And I think in life and in business, as far as family goes, you show tons of positivity, even though sometimes, you know, the stress can bring some different sides of people out. And I'm definitely
checks
guilty.
and balances.
Yeah,
somebody has to realize what's going
right.
on. The dynamics can't change.
Yeah,
they can never change.
And I'm definitely guilty of that. And sometimes I step back and think, man, you know, nothing's ever that hard. You know?
Well, with as many houses that are going on right now, with all of us, we could work 24 hours a day.
Oh, we could. Well, we still work 24 hours a day.
But we really got to get back to who we are and the life we have, and the family we have. So you have to have a cutoff point.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll just roll with it all the time.
Right. And this whole situation has become like a huge drug to me, honestly. Like, I love business. I love real estate. I mean, it's a nonstop thing. It makes me tremendously happy to know that I'm involved with people like you guys and involved in a company that is actually doing a lot of good things. I think that at the end of the day, we show tons of integrity of what we do, and we try to keep that integrity intact at all times.
And it's a matter about putting out quality houses too.
Yeah.
And I know that in the past we've went more than what we wanted.
Oh yeah, it's cost a little bit more money than we wanted to spend, but I think it's been worth everything.
When you guys, hear some of the results, I mean, you get that in check, but you hear that.
No,
those are wonderful houses, and people are asking.
Oh yeah,
for you guys
asking. I mean, we've got people. I think Andrew, somebody called us on a property we had. That's what Shane is it? Halfway through, maybe, Red Oak.
Yeah,
and they wanted to. I think they're going to take a look at it. Hopefully they're interested in it. If they want some extra finishes, of course, it might cost them a little bit more than normal. But if they want to stick with the plan that we have, it's going to be a fantastic house.
What we're running into now is we just had one recently that somebody's wanting to see the house before we're even done with it, such as the one you just spoke of, and another one in St. Albans.
Which one was that in St. Albans?
Vine Street.
Oh, that's right. It was
one of our contractor's girlfriend, real estate agent, took some people there.
Oh, yeah.
So people are wanting to see
old Sammy boy.
Yeah.
So how'd that go, by the way? I never did hear that.
He said they loved it. I don't know.
Really? So Andrew, you got that contract ready to go?
Yeah, just follow up.
Capital letters.
The contract is
yours.
Always ready to go.
But the point is, you start putting out a good product in a neighborhood, and everybody sees what you're doing, and the house is making a huge transformation. The next thing you know, you just have people, super curious coming in while the construction's going on, and at the end of it, I mean, how many of you guys sold within hours of when it hit the market lately?
Well, the last two of them have sold the first day.
And that speaks for reputation.
Autumn was what, 2 hours?
Yeah, it was 2 hours. It's crazy.
And that's reputation right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the way we want to keep it. I mean, sometimes when a lot of people get into house flipping, the first thing they think is, where can I cut corners? Where can I save money? And that drives.
No.
Yeah, I know. That drives me nuts. I mean, obviously, there's going to be times where you have to cut corners, and
not cut corners.
Not cut corners.
Now, what you're saying?
But I'm saying budget.
But you say perception.
Perception.
And I say quality.
Yeah.
And there is.
I don't want to cut you guys off.
But you just did.
I know. But I want to leave some meat on the bone for our next episode. That's what we're going to be talking about in the next one.
Man, that makes me hungry.
Yeah.
I really like bone marrow.
I don't want you guys are tearing off the meat already. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
we're excited
for hours.
Excited.
Well, let's move to the real estate tip of the day.
Hey guys! Let me get my radio voice on. The real estate tip of the day by Steve Coyne. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited. Woo!
Crazy.
Okay. All right, guys, listen. If you guys are getting into flipping, and you guys are, I'm sitting here slapping the table. I'm getting crazy with it. Hey, calm down. Listen, I'm excited. Guys, listen. If you guys are buying a house, you guys are planning on getting into flipping, and you guys buy a house, especially in West Virginia. Oh my, West Virginia is the worst for this. You guys buy a house, and it's definitely got a basement in it. The main thing that you need to check, huge hill behind it, you need to get a structural engineer involved. I mean, that's the first thing that you need to do is check that house before you make any type of offers, move forward on the property. You need to make sure you get a structural engineer involved.
What should they be looking for, Steve?
Well, let me get out my list.
What are the symptoms?
Well, the symptoms are you need to go into the basement the first thing. And, you know, most of the time you'll go in the basement and the basement will be finished. You know, obviously, if the house is vacant, you can try to talk the seller into letting you, you know, tear down the paneling, tear down the drywall, because most of the time you won't be able to see, you know, the block itself, and you need to make sure that there's no bulging.
Is there some way you can tell from the exterior?
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It just depends.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you can see moving, like especially if you have a huge garage door out front, you can see a lot of cracking coming off the corners. You know, that shows signs of the house being pushed, you know, from the back. So, you know, what you really need to do is start looking for signs like step cracking, you know, in the corners. You know, if you can go to Lowe's and find you a really good laser level, take it in and basically start from the bottom, go from the bottom to the center to the top. Anything over a ½ inch, you're toast. I mean, you might as well just call in a structural engineer. So once the structural engineer, you know, comes in and he gives you the report, he tells you it's over a ½ inch, then, you know, you need to call people like Bobby King from United Structural in. You know, those guys, they'll take care of you. You know, at the end of the day, you need to be very secure in the buy, because if you're buying something that has structural issues, it's going to ruin you.
It's a hell of an expense.
If you don't put in the budget.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially, I mean, if you don't put in the budget, a lot of these guys, what they do is they go out and they don't realize that, man, I need to check these foundation walls. And what happens is they buy the house, they go in, and they come to find out that, man, this thing's got $50,000 of the structural, and you only had, you know, $40,000 in the budget. So, you know, you're up there towards what, $90,000. Done. You're toast. Toast.
So who's a good engineer for people to call?
So Brett Hodgins, am I saying that right? Hodgson. Sorry, Brett, if I killed your name.
Brett, the structural guy.
He's with Canal Valley Home Inspections. His number is 304-721-9459. He's fantastic. If you guys need a great engineer, somebody that's very sensible and can come in and check your property, let you know exactly what it needs. You know, he can get you a report done so you can give it to the people that are going to be repairing your property, which people like Bobby King from United Structural, you know, he's a really good person to call. You know, his number is 304-999. Sorry.
993, sorry.
Sorry, Andrew's writing is like so small. I need a magnifying glass. Shane, you got your magnifying glass?
Horrid.
304-993-2308. Man, Andrew, I mean, I thought my handwriting.
I forgot I was working with old guys, so I gotta start writing bigger.
But yeah, Bobby King's the guy that you need to, you know, to correct the situation. Obviously, you know, him and Brett, they'll work together, you know, on the project. So at the end of the day, you get your engineering stamp and you guys are good to go. The bank will be able to loan the buyer their money so they can buy their first home and start making memories.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for that real estate tip of the day, sir.
The real estate tip of the day by Steve Coyne.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Hey,
That's
Sorry, man. I gotta get that radio. I know. I gotta get that.
all right,
radio.
we're gonna wrap this up. I know everyone's got stuff to do, so
Including Shane.
including Shane.
Yeah, you gotta get back to work, man.
Back to work.
So I love to ramble.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you have questions or comments, you can always reach us at A&M Investments WV@gmail.com. If you have a question that you'd like us to answer for you, just send us an email there, and we'll be sure to read it on the next episode and answer your question. We always love feedback, so if you have some positive or negative feedback, let us know. It helps us to
No negative.
no negative, unless it's constructive. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless it's constructive.
Yes.
You can contact us.
I'll respond to negative.
You can contact us at 304-250-9336. Our website is WeBuyCharlestonWVHouses.com. You can also go to our other website, A&M InvestmentsWV.com. So, hey, I think it was a great show.
Yeah, guys, I was excited.
Sure, appreciate you.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Oh, well,
What are we talking about in the next
too.
show? What's the next show about?
Shane.
When is it not about Shane?
Never.
It's every day. Well, guys, listen. I want to plug, Canal Valley Home Inspections again and United Structural. You can get a hold of them if you need a Canal Valley Home Inspections. If you guys need a great engineer, it's 304-721-9459. If you guys need a great contractor for all your structural needs, it's 304-993-2308. His name is Bobby King. So, guys, we appreciate your time, and this was Flippin West Virginia. Foundations for Success.
We're going to have a flip of the week.
The flip of the week, and also our closing. Shane being a dick.